Hello and welcome back again. In this part of the presentation, I wish to go over the various functions and their use. I'm going to start with alkaline water number 1. Alkaline water number 1 is predominantly for drinking, and that is when you're beginning out drinking alkaline water. This is a good place to start. Now let's zoom in on the actual features on the display. I still have a 9.8 pH, a negative ORP at 506 millivolts. Now you'll notice that we have a filter meter, tells you the filter life of the equipment. We also have a filter 2 and a filter 3 in case you needed external filters. It shows you the flow rate, which right now is 1.8 liters per minute. It also shows you the temperature, which is right now 23 degrees centigrade. More important, it shows you the pH, which is 9.8, and ORP, which is negative 506. Okay, now I wish to show you the alkaline number 2. Alkaline number 2 is a level of drinking that you want to build up to. You don't necessarily want to start out with alkaline number 2. As you can see, the ORP and the pH is much higher, about tenfold, about 10 times higher than what you get in alkaline number 1. So it's something that you want to build up to. Let's take a closer look at the display. In alkaline number 2, you'll notice that I have 10.9 pH, negative 634 millivolts or ORP reading. Okay, now we're back again. I now want to change it over to alkaline number 3. Alkaline number 3 is absolutely phenomenal. At this point, this is mainly used for rinsing herbicides and pesticides. Because of all those are oil-based, otherwise they would wash off in the first rain, you want to use the high pH like we have here. At 12.0, it is by far the highest that I've seen anywhere. Now let's zoom in on it and take a look. As you can see here, I am obviously in alkaline number 3 mode because I have a 12.0 pH with a negative 890 ORP. You also see that my flow rate is 1.8 liters per minute and my temperature is 24 degrees. Pretty amazing, wasn't it? Well, this was only part of what this machine can do. I now want to show you what it can do on the acidic side and why that's important. We can start with acidic number 1. Acidic number 1 is essentially an astringent because it has the same pH as your skin. So it'll clean up your pores and clean up your skin, and that's mainly what that's for. Let's take a closer look at it to show you the real numbers in real time. We're now dropping all the way down to 3.5 pH with a positive ORP reading of 749 millivolts. This is now extremely corrosive. Now that was pretty amazing, wasn't it? Now that was just one of the acidic levels. And it of course is beeping at us to remind us that we should not be drinking this water. We're now switching over to acidic number 2. This is a very, very important setting. And the reason that is that nothing can exist in 2.0 pH. It is just a little bit below Coca-Cola, which is 2.3. It is about 2 points above battery acid and 1 point above your stomach acid. That's important because you can literally kill bacteria in a matter of minutes. We take our meat and we rinse it in underneath the stream of 2 pH water. That kills any bacteria that might be on the meat. And then we turn over and we rinse it in the high pH water. Now let's take a closer look at the display on the 2 pH water. Obviously at pH 2.0, and ORP reading a positive 874, This water would be very corrosive. If you put that on top of metal, it will make it rust much faster. Whereas if you're utilizing the 12.0 water, it would actually protect the metal from rusting. That is the phenomenal part about this particular machine. Now that's pretty amazing, wasn't it? The fact that you can use water to sterilize things. The fact that you can sterilize surgical instruments with 2.0 water. The fact that you can wash off the salmonella or any other deadly bacteria on the surface of things in a matter of 30 seconds. Now the next button I'm going to show you is the purified water. Now the light's green. Purified water is also very important, and the reason for that is if you are taking time-release medication, you don't want to take it with electrolysis water, for the very simple reason that the small clusters in the electrolysis water will break down your time-release medication faster, and you'll end up with an overdose. So the idea is half hour before you take your medication and wait till a half hour after. Those are the times you can drink the higher pH water that has been generated by your water electrolysis machine. So you can see how the purified water really can be beneficial. Now I'll turn it back to alkaline number 2, because what I want to show you is the button for the alkaline hot water. The first thing I want to do is regulate the temperature on the incoming water to the point where it is probably about a little above lukewarm. There we go. Now that's a good, essentially body temperature. I'll now divert it through the machine, and we'll see the temperature climbing up from 24 degrees. So I'm right around the temperature that you have when you have a fever, 41 degrees. Now I'm going to turn on the heater. The heater will now engage and it will raise the temperature. I have preset the machine, as you may have known if you watched the setup instructions. I've preset the machine to the point that it needs to stop at 60 degrees, which is about 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So now we're climbing, 54, 55, and at this point it is much, much warmer than I can stick my finger under. That of course is ideal if you want to make an instant cereal, or you want to make an instant hot soup, or maybe you want some hot chocolate or something like that. So that's for the purpose of the heater. So I'm going to turn the heater off, and I'm going to watch the temperature climb back down again as I switch it over to cold. Okay, the water has now returned to regular cold temperature on alkaline number 2. I now want to, if the light comes on down here, it'll tell you that it's time for cleaning. What it does when it's time for cleaning, it'll reverse the polarity on the plates. So the ones that were alkaline now becomes acidic, in case there is some buildup, hard water deposit buildup on the plates. And it'll tell you to do that every so often after so many liters of performance. So you turn it on. You listen to the It's a Small World After All, and it's going to play that for a while. And when it's done, it's going to return to the previous setting that you had. Okay, and now you can see it has returned to regular alkaline number 2. You heard that little beep beep? You want to wait until you hear that. That's an indication that the water is now ready to be consumed. Now thank you for watching this part of the presentation, and have a nice day.